Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Imana Amawe. Coming up on the program today, coalition of civil society organizations criticize states with low internally generated revenue. Youths in Abia State appeal to the government to help create employment. And the federal government's initiative on Niger Delta agricultural development takes off in Cross River State. Program that brings you news from the length and breadth of Nigeria. A coalition of civil society organizations and the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council have criticized states with low internally generated revenue and high debt profiles. The group wants to know why some states continue to pile up huge debt profiles instead of exploring ways on how to utilize their natural resources to grow their income. These issues were raised during the presentation of the 2017 Fiscal Sustainability Ranking of States, where Rivers, Lagos and Enugu took the first 3 positions.
For some time now, many states have begun to look inward in order to grow their internally generated revenue as federal allocations continue to dwindle. It does appear, however, that not many states are leading in this regard, hence the growing inability of some states to meet up with their recurrent expenditure, including the payment of staff salaries. Members of civil society organizations and the executive secretary of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council are in this hole as the 2017 Fiscal Sustainability Rankings of the 36 states of the Federation is presented.
Looking at the bottom 5, and you see that out of the bottom 5, the economies in the north primarily are very, very, very weak. Zamfara 4.87 billion, Sokoto 4.55 billion, Jigawa 3.54, Nasarawa 3.4 billion. So in some way, these states have not been strong engines, strong engines of opportunities within them.
In her remarks, the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council advised states to adopt strategies that will attract investors to their states.
We realize that it is also easier for investors to engage states when states are conscious and organized to receive investors. So we encourage them to set up state investment promotion agencies, which are essentially the equivalent of NIPC at the state level.
A highlight of the 2016 Fiscal Sustainability Ranking reveals 10 states with the lowest internally generated revenue, IGR, and those with huge debt profile. Some of these include Osun, Zamfara, Cross River, Adamawa and Lagos State, which has the highest debt profile. The group is advising against borrowing for recurrent expenditure.
We advise states that focus on deepening your IGR, and gradually, when you are going to raise debt, focus on raising debt for things that can also boost your IGR. You're building a road in an industrial estate proper, and you're using debt to do that. You're using IGR, to do foreign consultancies, and doing things that are not self-liquidating in nature. You're going to be shooting yourself in the foot.
For some time now, many states are unable to pay their staff salaries due to shortfalls from the federal allocations. Hence, economists are insisting that there is urgent need for states to focus on growing their internally generated revenues.
Concerned about the rising rate of unemployment, youths in Abia State are appealing to the government to revive neglected infrastructure that could help create jobs. In a peaceful protest, the young indigenes of Okwa East local government area asked for a review of the public-private partnership arrangement at the Abia Oil Palm Company. The project coordinator at the company says there's no cause for alarm as the partnership already incorporates the youth.
SATM, Abia Palm Limited, one of the oil palm mills in the area, is deserted as youths from the 3 donor communities barricade the entrance to the premises. Armed with cardboards to drive home their message, they condemn the poor state of infrastructure, unemployment and absence of equipment.
We found out that this company, they are merchants. and not investors. From 1st May of this year, they came in. They started harvesting the palms. They were not the people, the company that planted these palms. They inherited it from the past companies. No employment. They only give contracts.
Anybody in this very project coming here that as an investor, he can't handle the project, let them quit and leave our land for us. So that the government, even there are other people that wants to come in.
With over 2,000 hectares of land of planted areas and over 100 fields, with each field consisting of 150 palms, the landowners expressed sadness at the failure to adhere to the Memorandum of Understanding.
There's no way they can continue staying here, and our youths will be suffering. They are not accommodated, they are not employed, and we, the landowner representatives, we are not even recognized.
The project coordinator debunks their claims.
We are not saying we are not going to employ anybody. In fact, we've given contracts, vesting contracts to indigenes of this place. When we came in, we gave slashing contracts to indigenes of this place. And beyond that, we look at it, it's not as if we couldn't get security else, armed security men. We just decided to, in our own wisdom and experience over the years in oil palm business, we decided to, because we need this cordial relation with the host communities, the communities we are operating in, we decided to give the security contract as well to the indigenes.
The youth remain adamant and have resolved to continue with their demands until the government comes to their aid.
In the meantime, some retired workers in Edo State have refuted claims that the state government is up to date in the payment of their monthly allowances. A spokesperson for the group confirmed that the present administration is yet to pay the outstanding debts. But the head of service, Gladys Idaho, implored the aggrieved pensioners to be patient while issues concerning the allowances are being sorted out.
Aggrieved retired workers vent their anger on motorists forcing a detour at the King Square axis of Ring Road in Benin City, the Edo State capital. The Edo State pensioners stand their ground over their allegations. They claim that recent reports from the Edo State Government House on the pension issues are misleading the public.
What they have succeeded in doing is to be paying the monthly pensions. We are not, that is not in dispute. The issue in dispute is the long arrears, ranging from 5 months to 42 months. They are owing pensioners and the gratuities.
The group also debunks allegations of sponsorship by the opposition.
Our leadership was bought over. We have a union. They bought the union over and they are no longer talking for pensioners. That is why we all came out, this spontaneous reaction. In spite of the announcement, you can see that pensioners are still out.
The head of service, Gladys Idaho, reiterates government's stance on the matter, saying all outstanding monies will be paid.
The arrears is not just today's arrears. The arrears we are talking about, we have arrears starting from 1996. Government is a continuum. We have accepted our liabilities and assets. So they should give us time to work out the arrears and see how we can offset them gradually. In phase, we are going to face the payments. There's no government that will come out that have so much billions of naira to settle arrears once and for all.
While the debate continues, the Edo State pensioners remain adamant over their unpaid arrears and gratuities. For the Edo State government, patience on the part of these retired workers is all that is required.
Coming up on the program after this timeout, unemployed youths in Cross River State get set to benefit from the presidential initiative on agriculture for the Niger Delta region. Stay with us.